Hey guys, what's the crack? So today I'm going to be reviewing Spongebob. I saw Spongebob actually twice 2 weeks ago. The reason why I saw it twice was because I initially bought tickets. I got rush tickets in the morning, and I have been to the Palace Theatre. I've seen American in Paris there twice. I saw Annie, I saw Sunset Boulevard, and every single time bar Annie I have sat up in the way, like up back in the balcony, which has been fine because every show I've seen, that show seems to have been like quite deep in the sense like they've been far back in the stage. But for Spongebob, when I saw it, I missed a lot. I sat, I think it was the third row of the balcony. There were times where I hadn't a clue what was going on stage because so much of it happens like to the very forefront of the stage, which was a huge problem. So whilst I enjoyed it a lot the first time, I actually didn't enjoy it that much the first time I saw it. I've listened to the score a lot before I went to New York. So when I got the tickets to go see it, I was like, you know what, it's going to be fine. I know the score, didn't have a clue the story. And it's a big, I presume because it was a big set and a big stage that I'd be able to see everything. But when I saw it that time, I thought, oh crap, I am missing so much of this. It's really having an effect on how much I'm enjoying this show. This is a problem. So with that, I decided that I had to go back and see it a second time. So I believe it was a Saturday matinee I saw. The Saturday was, I think it was possibly the 30th. It was the day before New Year's, the day before New Year's Eve. And I saw the matinee with the full cast, and that was all grand. But I'm not going to review that performance because it's not worth reviewing in my head because I did not enjoy it. But I did not enjoy it because I just had terrible, terrible seats. The performance I'm going to review is the one on this is so bad, I don't even know dates. 30th, 31st, it was like the 2nd of January. It was like the 7 o'clock show or whatever. So that morning, me and my friends went to get tickets, and we managed to get 5 rush tickets, which were priced at $70, and we were the third row of the orchestra, or the stalls, whatever you want to call it, depending where you're viewing this from. So we were the third row of the stalls, and phenomenal view. Straight up, if you're going to see this show, pay full price. Do not waste your time paying for the rush tickets up the back of the balcony. This show is incredible. It's so much fun, and I'll be the first to say, whilst I was slightly reluctant to see this show when I heard it was going on to Broadway, I really gave it a chance. When I went to Chicago, I heard great things about it, and then when they released the cast album, I listened to it once through. Like, I listened to the whole thing once through, and I was like, wow, I was so wrong. The score is incredible. There's some really, really good standout numbers there, as well as the cast absolutely killing it. SpongeBob was played by Ethan Slater. Incredible. Cannot believe his Broadway debut. He completely encompasses and is that role through and through. Lily Cooper plays Sandy. She's phenomenal. I actually liked her before because she had been in Spring Awakening. I'd heard loads of recordings of, not Spring Awakening, sorry, she was also in Spring Awakening, but I'd heard loads of recordings of her in Wicked. She was fantastic in that. We have then Gavin Creel as Squidward. Also, side note, I have probably seen less than a total of 5 minutes of SpongeBob my entire life. I am not a SpongeBob fan whatsoever. I haven't seen a musical. That's not going to change. I'm not going to sit around and watch an episode of SpongeBob. But I knew nothing about the inside jokes and everything, so just a heads up. Lily Cooper again, Gavin Creel. Gavin Lee was, not Gavin Creel, Gavin Creel's a different actor. Gavin Lee is phenomenal as Squidward. And it's kind of sad, not sad, but like he very much like takes his time in the show, knowing that he's got the huge number coming up later on in the show, and he kind of like, when that number happens, he just totally steals the show. Who else we have? Danny Skinner's Patrick Star. I mean, I know what Patrick Star sounds like, so to have Danny Skinner do that in front of me was just fantastic again. I thought he was phenomenal. Wesley Taylor, Sheldon Plankton. Overall, actually, the ensemble is phenomenal. They are incredible overall. They just really bring and wrap everything up together and really throw it all out you. And you can tell that they're there living for each other and like feeding off each other, which is phenomenal. Cast overall, could not fault them. And I'm very critical. Like, I really will pick things out, and I have like a bone to pick sometimes after shows. I'm like, didn't like that. But I cannot pick one part of that cast that I did not like. So that's enough to go with. My opinion of the set is a little bit controversial in the sense that I can acknowledge that the proscenium is gorgeous to look at. I can acknowledge that everything about that show is incredible to look at. But my issue with the set was that when they had all the bikini bottom scenes, it just looked a little bit bare. And I guess because it's underwater and they're trying to give that whole idea of being underwater in this vast landscape and everything. But for me, I just got a little bit tired looking or bored looking at the set sometimes. But I just think they could have done a tiny bit more with the set. I just wish there was something more for parts of the set. Not all of it, just for certain parts, just to really give it that little bit of extra pizzazz, I guess. Score-wise, the score is so weirdly cohesive, and they have a number of insanely talented songwriters coming together to put all this, and composers to put the show together. But the score itself, it was so good. And I kind of hope that they win the Tony for the best score, because can you imagine the amount of people that'll be going up on stage to get that award? And there was a really nice amount of, like, you know, a little bit of rock music, a little bit of pop music, a little bit of whatever, but then they also had a lot of musical theatre sounding songs in it, like Daddy Knows Best. Tomorrow Is, it's fantastic, close to Act 1. Beautiful song, all the cast back on stage together, you really feel for them. Poor Pirates by Sarah Bareilles, surprisingly, I love that song. Does it fit totally in the show? Debatable, but I really enjoy it. Bikini Bottom Boogie, great. Again, you've got Pearl coming in and singing the hell out of that song. Chop to the Top, I surprisingly love Chop to the Top, but maybe I just love Lily Cooper singing that song also. I Guess I Miss You by John Legend, great song, very much like For Good. You got Glinda and Elfal coming back together, kind of. I mean, that's just the analogy I saw. I'm Not a Loser for Squidward is just, that number truly, that number alone should get him Tony nominations. What, by the way, Gavin Creel, I hope I keep getting his name right, it is Gavin Creel. I keep saying Gavin Creel, it's not, it's Gavin Lee. Gavin Lee, I'm so sorry. Gavin Lee deserves a Tony nomination alone for that number and his portrayal of Squidward, as does Ethan Slater. Tony nominations wise, I'm going to be very intrigued to see what the show gets nominated for, and I hope it does not get neglected, and I really hope it gets the recognition it deserves. Overall, the score is fantastic. There is a couple of numbers I think that are a little bit weaker, but that's with many shows. Overall, I would most definitely give this show at least, I'll give it a very fair 4 out of 5 stars. There's nothing, as I sat there and watched the show, there was no part of me that was like, didn't like this, didn't like that, they could have improved on that. Initially, I came out on a high, because after seeing that show, there's so much joy and happiness in that show that it's impossible not to come out smiling. And I went myself and 4 of my friends went, and each and every single one of us said that throughout the whole show, we had a constant smile on our face. We were laughing, we were proper, like, stomach, hearty laughing. I know the show is getting a lot of stick because it's Spongebob, but there's so much more to the show that people just have to witness it. There's so much work that's been put into this show, and it's a joy to watch on stage. And I think, particularly in this day and age, and what's going on around the world right now, that's so important to have a show like this on Broadway. But it's not just one of those shows where it's just built for kids. There's so much in it for any single person to watch a show that you could enjoy it. I really hope it gets the recognition it deserves. I think it's starting to build up a loyal fan base. Grosses have gone up. I mean, they're selling more tickets, they're making more money in the box office. I know there's currently plans to raise the Palace Theatre where SpongeBob currently is, and those plans, from what I've seen as of late, they're supposed to start raising that theatre by the end of the summer. I personally really hope they don't, unless SpongeBob is going to move, but I think a move for SpongeBob could be too expensive, and they're probably more so just going to take the show and put it out on tour. Another thing I want to note throughout the show, so there's kind of like subplot about Sandy and the people at Bikini Bottom like not liking Sandy being around because she was a mammal, and it really struck me, like, it was obviously that subplot was there, you know, and as people judging other people because they weren't the same as them, and I loved that. I loved how there's a tiny little political subplot in it that really got you thinking and started making you think to yourself, what am I doing, or how can I make things slightly better, or how can I just listen to somebody and try and see their perspective or their point of view. Overall, I had a fantastic time at SpongeBob. Will I be going again? Yeah, I think I really will. I think I'll most definitely be going again. Probably not anytime soon. Hopefully I'll see it again this summer, ideally. Would I recommend the show to a friend? I most definitely would. And it's just overall, it's just a show that really currently does belong on Broadway, because there's so much heart and so much work put into the show and craftsmanship. Tin Landau, or T, I'm definitely not pronouncing her name correctly, the surname, phenomenal director, and she has worked her butt off to create a show that 100% deserves a spot and deserves an audience on Broadway. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed that review. I'm going to be throwing out more reviews with time to come. I'm slowly getting into this whole YouTube thing. I'm feeling it, but it's going to take me a little bit of time to get properly into the flow of it. Anyways, thank you. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. I can't even say my words these days. It's Saturday. I've had a long day, a long week at work. It's not a long day. I've had a long week at work. Anyways, hope to see you guys again next time, so see you later.